Hey, I hope this thing's working. Hey guys, Plasticon here. I know I've been doing a lot of these lately. I'm sorry. Just want to kind of fill you in on a little bit of things that's been going on. I myself have actually been pretty tired just from work. Really haven't gotten a chance to do anything interesting yet. I did have to reorder the Lego set because the buyer I tried to buy it off of told me that there was a few pieces missing, so I went ahead and canceled that order and bought a different one. So it'll be a little longer on the Lego set build that I plan on doing in the future. A little bit of fill-in on what I've been doing. I've been playing World of Warcraft a lot. If any of you guys have ever followed anything I've done in the past, I've been doing a lot of World of Warcraft, primarily ever since the game came out, like literally since like 2004. I was one of the beta testers and got a chance to play the game that way. And I am going to be talking a little bit more about Warcraft on this one because I'm kind of excited. There's a new expansion coming out and it's going to be announced here in a couple days, and I'm just like, yes, I'm ready for a new one. I play a lot of the game primarily solo now. Me and my other half play together. We'll do some quests, run some dungeons, some raids, stuff like that. Just kind of help each other through things. But many moons ago, I used to actually be a hardcore raider, and so was she. We were both Nax clearers back in the day and did a whole lot of different things in the game that were very difficult to do, things that you normally could not do in the game now. The gameplay has changed a lot throughout the years. It used to be, if you didn't have a guild, you really didn't get to do much besides quest and maybe get lucky enough to run a dungeon or two. Mainly because the game was pretty hard back then. A lot of people now are playing Classic, and they play in Classic Burning Crusade as well. I'm going to put this out there. I know a lot of people probably aren't going to like what I say, but I do have to admit a lot of people don't understand this, but that is more of an entitled type of thing at this point. The people that are playing it now, you guys are playing basically a patch the crap out of, fix the crap out of versions of those games. I'm one of the guys that helped actually pretty much have to build strategies back then to clear everything in those two expansions. And I know they have this talk about doing a World of Warcraft Lich King Classic. I myself really wish they would just implement all the old classic stuff before the Cataclysm into the retail base game, so that way you can time walk back into it with Chromie's little time thing. I really wish they would just implement that so people can play the game the way it was before that. Maybe with the new mechanics, but still, I don't know. You're not going to get the same experience that I did back in the day. It's mainly because there's too much going on with the way the game used to run. The way the game used to be, you literally had to have a guild to clear a raid. You had to have a guild to do dungeons. You had to have a guild to do any of the main stuff in the game. So there's a lot of things out there that most people don't understand. And I'm one of these kind of people that I tend to gravitate toward the fact that I get you've got people out there that are called casual players. I myself am now a casual player. I used to play a lot of hardcore stuff, but I don't do it anymore. Why? Let me fill this in on you guys. Throughout the years, things have changed a lot for myself. I had several marriages come and go. During the time I was actually in the military, I had a very depressed state, and so I engulfed myself in the game a lot and played that when I was not at work. Yeah, I did drink a lot, stuff like that. Everybody has those slip-ups. I personally have kicked the alcoholism habit well over 10 years ago now. So thank God I got out of that. And the thing is, what I'm noticing with the community now is there's not a whole lot of talking. One of the big things I can tell you is when it comes to communication in the game, I'm part of this like newcomers chat because I try to help a lot of new players, but nobody really talks in a dungeon anymore. Like, hey, can you trap this mob? Can you do this? Can you do that? No, everybody just goes in, tanks ready, tanks going in, pulling. Kind of the same thing with LFR, looking for raid, for those who don't know what that is. A lot of that is different as well, because some people like, oh, well, you're an LFR raider. Yes, I myself am an LFR raider. Let me tell you why. I don't have the time and effort to be able to put into a huge guild running around doing heroic and mythic versions of this, that, and the other, because I have a life now. I have things I do outside of playing World of Warcraft. I play World of Warcraft primarily a little more on a weekend, but during the week I try to dabble here and there. And I really try to go for other things in the game. Like I mount farm now. I do a lot of dungeon crawling, trying to get looks and things like that. Chasing down achievements, chasing down mounts. I used to PvP quite a bit. I'll do it every now and then sometimes. I don't primarily do a whole lot of stuff with my alts. That's my other half. She really likes to do alts. She really gets into the solo gameplay. She loves the storyline. I myself love the storyline too. That's the whole reason why I've been playing the game so long. I'm also one of those guys that dips into lore videos, and I read the books and the comics and all that different kinds of stuff. I've been into this stuff for a very, very long time. Just to let you know, I am not an advocate for what the heck happened at Blizzard. I'm glad that they're cleaning that mess up. That mess needed to be cleaned up, and it makes me very, 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 very happy to see them trying to do something to fix this problem, because yes, I do know the player base dropped off a lot because of the whole lawsuit thing and people not doing what they're supposed to do. So makes me happy to see this. I'm glad that that's what's going on. I want the community itself within Warcraft to get better. I want people to enjoy the game for what it is and for what it's going to be in the future. I know a lot of people complain about, oh, well, I quit playing because it got boring. Well, I personally think the only reason why Warcraft ever gets boring to anybody is because you're not really looking for the content in the game that's there. Because there's so many things you can do. You literally can play your own version of Pokemon in the game because you're running around pet battling, and then after you get done doing pet battling, you got dungeon pet battling, which is a whole new level of pet battling. Then you got people that are hardcore. And you got people who want to do guild achievements. And you got people who want to do legendary chase downs and stuff like that. That stuff's great. But myself, I'm one of these kind of people. Like I said, I'm more of a casual player now. I used to not be. I do have several friends on my list, but not many. Nobody really talks anymore. It's kind of fizzled out from what it used to be. My experience in Warcraft has been a lot different than what most people think. Me, I used to be a guild leader of several guilds at one time, and it was fun. I loved it, but certain things kind of fizzled out. There was a lot of animosity between people playing. Some people were mad about certain things, certain people weren't. There were people telling me, hey, you should take that because you're the guild leader. I'm like, no, I want it fair because I want everybody to roll for things. Because, you know, back in the day, that's usually what it was, but now you got this loot-based system. When you loot it, it's just given to you, whatever, you know, and that's just kind of whatever Blizzard wants to do with their loot system. I personally think they should go back to the loot system you used to have, where it's like, oh, you rolled for item. Okay, these items dropped. If you didn't need this item, you can give it to this person. And that's just all there is to it. They need to go back to that kind of loot system, because to me, it worked better anyway. you had quite a few pieces drop. Sometimes you had repeated pieces. Sometimes you didn't. I don't like seeing repeated pieces consistently. It's kind of dumb. I'm also one of these kind of people that don't think every time you go into a raid you should get a piece of gear. I think it should be a grind, but that's just me, because to me it brings back replay value of a game. If you're sitting there taking the grind and you're consistently going back in and doing this, that, and the other, you shouldn't just be doing it for the gear. You should be doing it for the content. You should be doing it for the fun of the game. If you're not having fun with the game, then you need to really find something else to do. That's just kind of how I feel about these types of things. Now, you do have these people that clear all the way to the end of the game, and then they're like, oh, I've done it all. I'm going to stop playing this now. I'm going to go play my console or whatever. That's your decision. I don't have any problems with that. But the people like myself that like to constantly do stuff, I don't like sitting in a queue for almost 2 hours to do an in-game raid because no one's playing. And the queue system, to me, is broken. Like, I really think what Blizzard should do is knock everything down in the queue system for LFR to 10-man versus 25. Because, let's put it this way. It's easier to maintain 10 people that want to do a raid versus 25 people when most of them are DPS anyway, and no one really cares. Like, they're just like, oh, well, look at me, I'm just blah, 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 horsing around. I died, everybody else killed the boss. I respawn, come back. Because most people don't even worry about rezzing. People don't worry about any of this stuff because LFR is a free-for-all. That's pretty much what it is. And I personally think they should dumb it down to 10-man for looking for raids. Looking for dungeon, yeah, remain that as a 5-man. But that's just kind of my opinion. I've been kind of hearing rumors here and there about stuff done with the new expansion. I don't really want to ruin it for myself because I want to see it from the horse. I'm one of these kind of people who like to hear things from the horse's mouth, so that's kind of how I am. But anyway, I just thought I'd let you guys know what's going on. I will be trying to put more videos out dealing with toys and stuff like that as well. This was me primarily ranting about Warcraft because, hey, I like Warcraft. I don't care what anybody says. I have been an adamant Warcraft fan my entire life, ever since the games started way back in the day when it was just a little real-time strategy game and just... your computers could barely run it back then. Yeah, I miss those days. Those were always fun because, you know, Orcs versus Humans was a pretty good game. Anyhow, this has been Plasticon, and this is me signing off. I'll catch you guys around. Bye.